Good morning, Plum here playing World of Warships, and this is a replay. I had this game yesterday and it turned into a bit of a corker. Halfway through, you would not assume so. Halfway through this I am going to have done no kills and I'm going to have an absolute sliver of health. It's pretty remarkable actually what I'm able to pull off in the last half of this match. So game starts and I've already asked if I can get some cruiser support, because when you're in a battleship, you really do want cruiser support to be around you when the planes start flying out, and there they are. There's the planes from the aircraft carrier. It's a tier 6 game this, and it's a tier 6 aircraft carrier. So against my tier 4 battleship, I'm in big trouble if those planes decide to come after me. So I put out the speculation. I say, can someone please give me some cruiser support? Initially I get a no response, but then Alexikov says affirmative, and I've got a couple of cruisers behind me. We've got the Omaha and the Nuremberg. I'm assuming, I know the Omaha's got anti, I'm assuming the Nuremberg has, I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure it has. Let's switch over back to the original viewpoint that I had. I see these planes coming in. So I type it into chat, these planes are coming. I need some support, please target those planes, because you can't really avoid these things once they put a spread down. So I start turning my nose towards them, get the bow going towards the enemy ships, try and present as small a profile as possible, and with the help of the cruiser's anti-air, they do a terrible drop, and I'm able to completely avoid them, so that has saved me a big hit right out from the start. Is that going to save me later on? Well, if they had hit me, I wouldn't have done what I did in the second half of this match, because I would have died. I wouldn't have had the hit point ball. So I'm telling you, at the end, halfway through this match, I'm going to have a sliver. I think it's something like 2,000 hit points, and then the game gets going for me. It's pretty cool actually. Sometimes I impress myself. Anyway, I give thanks to the cruisers for their support. This is what you want when you're in a battleship. You want to be surrounded by these guys. You just want them on your side so that you can nullify the effect of those torpedo bombers coming in. They are an absolute pain in the neck when you play battleship. I'm playing more and more battleships, mostly because of this vessel, the Imperator Nikolai. It is fantastic ship. I really enjoy playing this. Numerically, it's only a little bit better than the Arkansas beta that I've got in my port. It's just a little bit better on, well, nearly everything, frankly, but a good deal better on its rudder shift time, which just gives you that edge, I think, for manoeuvrability that makes it feels like a big difference, even though on numbers it's not that big, but it does make one hell of a difference. Anyway, I'm going to speed up some of this footage. Like I say, it's halfway through this before I actually really start to get going, so let's increase the speed ×2, and we come out here on this flank. I've got 2 cruisers with me and a destroyer. I can now start getting shots. They're right on the edge of my range, so I put in shots down on this New Mexico. See, there's a couple of destroyers out here. I think you can see one at the moment, but I think there's at least 2 destroyers probing, and I'm dodging torpedoes, trying to angle myself so I don't take fire. Look, I've had a massive hit from one of those New Mexico, I think. So I use my repair kit. Now I did get my 3rd commander slot done for consumables to get an extra charge. So I've got 4 charges on my repair skill for my battleship, and wow, I take an enormous hit. So now we're getting down to what I was talking about. So there it is, I've got 3,000 hit points. So I'm turning tail, I've turned around, all my ships around me have died, and I see this Cleveland coming in, a full health Cleveland coming in. And behind me, I'm being spotted all the time. I managed to get a Citadel, dropping AP on that Cleveland. And behind me, I've got plenty of ships coming at me, a couple of battleships, and I know that destroyer is still here somewhere. So I start waggling. Even in a battleship, it's a good idea to waggle. You might think it's almost futile, but it isn't. It does throw off shots. Battleships, because they've got such a long flight time, they've got to lead their shots. If they see a ship turning to port or starboard, you tend to aim a little bit more because you think they might complete a turn or continue with a turn. Now I'm anticipating this Cleveland coming out on that side of the island. It's just a hunch. He could easily come out on the other side of that island. I'm just hoping. The destroyer keeps me spotted for the the enemy battleships back there to keep putting their fire down on me. And I'm able to get my other repair skill going. So I've got 2 left now. I'm going to use all of those. Here come the shots from the Cleveland. He's back on the map. He is coming down on my perspective, the left-hand side of the island. Get a salvo out. Get a really good clean hit on his midsection. Take off 10,000 nearly of his hit points. Leave him on 10,000. And I'm now hoping and praying that I can just survive long enough and not take any more fire from the enemy battleships to get a broadside on this guy. Now what this guy needs to do is come straight at me. Look, he's got several forward-facing guns on his Cleveland. Fire high explosive at me, and he's probably got me. But for some inexplicable reason, maybe it's because he's got the torpedo planes are coming down, I don't know, but he does give me his broadside, and I'm so grateful. Once I get my guns to bear, I can just completely annihilate him and get citadels, and finally get my first kill of the game. I'm still aware that there's a destroyer behind me, so I'm continuing to drive away, sail away evasively, and whack all that big bum of mine. I'm going to speed this up a little bit. Continue away plump. Now using my repairs, I've got one left now. I get my health back up to, what's it going to get up to? Nearly 13,000. What was it down to? Like 3,000? So having that extra slot on my repairs has paid dividends. Then the Wyoming comes into range. He starts putting fire on me. Now he's got a lot more hit points than I do. He was virtually full health when he showed up. So I start to angle my ship as best I can. I try and keep my guns not too far off the target, but while I'm reloading, and it's a 32-second reload on this ship, I try and turn my stern so that's all he can see is this really slim, well I say slim, it's a battleship. These ladies are not slim. Quick turn on the rudder, get all guns to bear, get them off, and then you'll probably see me turn back over to port a bit and try and get the ship straight again, so it makes it harder for him to hit. He's doing the same though. He's got good angling on me, but our aircraft carrier's done me a massive favour. Brings his torpedoes in, takes off a nice chunk of health. He's left with 19,000. The cruiser, one of our friendly cruisers just to my north, has now come around as well, and the Wyoming seems to be more concerned with the cruiser, I think, than myself. Simply pointing his guns, now he's tracking back on me. I managed to get another salvo out, and how much damage? I can't remember if these kill him or not. I don't think so. No, bit of a wide spread in the end. I love the RNG of a battleship. Sometimes spreads seem to go through the sky, spread out, and then almost coalesce as they reach the target. Sometimes they just spread out and they just keep spreading out and keep spreading out and keep spreading out, and they get to the target and then one hits. I am throwing in 12 shells at a time. Thanks to that Kuma, brings him down to 7,000 hit points. I then get a pretty good spread across, and I get my other 3 guns to bear, fire those bad boys off. So that's 9 shells flying, and these ones coalesce. Just watch as they get to target, they seem to sort of congregate and take him out completely, and suddenly I've got 2 kills. And where you think I was a couple of minutes ago with just a sliver of health, 3,000 out of my nearly 45,000 to start with, with additional repair skills which I've now completely used up, so I'm back up to 16,000 worth of hit points. I'm like back in this match, I've got all my confidence back, I've taken out 2 ships, what else can I do? So the enemy team are having trouble in their cap. They are being capped, and there's a New Mexico there, but they have got 3 destroyers to take care of that New Mexico. We also have a couple of friendly ships to the north of the New Mexico, 1 cruiser and I think another battleship, potentially. A little hard to make that out. So myself, and to my right I believe is a Warspite. I'm going to speed this up. Decide to sail straight up the middle and just go and get stuck in, frankly. I'm pretty confident with all the guns I've got on this ship that I can
our victory is in sight.
Come around this headland, and if some of the destroyers did decide to come down this passageway, I would be able to put down a massive amount of high explosive, which I have preloaded. Speed it up a little bit. We managed to cruise towards their cap, and they've got 2 destroyers and an aircraft carrier left. I think our Warspite here managed to take out one of their destroyers. That just leaves 1 destroyer now. So I know where he was last spotted, over here towards that island just there. So I get my guns pre-aimed. We're in the cap. He's got to come and stop us. So where's he going to appear? I'm pre-aim. I'm hoping I can get the shot off before the Warspite does. Here he comes. Around the corner. Quick bit of aiming. Launch a massive salvo. And slow that right down. Yep. Happy days. Another kill. So from where I was in the middle of that game, with virtually no health and no kills, and I thought, this is it, I'm dead. If that Cleveland had just turned towards me, maybe he might have got me before the before those torpedoes dropped. I don't even know if they even dropped in the end, because they were being harassed by a fighter at that Cleveland just before I citadeled him. Who knows how it could have gone. If those torpedo planes at the start had managed to get one set of torpedoes on me, I'd have probably used a repair skill then, and I would have died later on. So it all kind of fell into place on that map. And another great game in the Nikolai. It's a really terrific battleship. And so after what could have been an absolutely terrible match for me, frankly, turned into a really good match for me, and I managed to bring home nearly 250,000 credits, 3,000 XP, 150 free XP, and also pick up the Dreadnought medal, which bags me a whole bunch of flags. I think 10, can't remember which one it is, but anyway, I received damage exceeding 120% of my ship's normal HP from 4 or more enemies and survived the battle. It's really nice getting Dreadnought. You know you've had a really intense game when you pick up Dreadnought. A couple of citadels, 3 ships destroyed in the end, and 41 hits. Managed to come second from top in the end in that tier 6 game in my tier 4 battleship. I love this thing. It is OP a little bit. It feels like that because I've had 1 or 2 bad games where I haven't done much. I've chased the map and I've had hardly any damage and I just don't do anything, but more often than not, 7 games out of 10 I seem to have good games, or every now and then, like that, I have a really good game, and it's a very consistently performing vessel and I like it a lot. I haven't made that clear yet how good this thing is. It really is. There don't seem to be that many on. I've come across 1 other so far in all the matches I've played. He was on the enemy team. I'm not sure why it's not proving more popular. It probably is something to do with their pricing on it. You've got to buy a bundle to buy it. You're buying gold. The flags are free, they're just a bonus, but you're buying some gold and you get this ship. If you need some gold, consider it, because it really is a good vessel. Managed to do 61,000 damage with my armor piercing, 8,300 odd with my HE, and take home in the end, you've already seen that already, but yeah, 3,000 XP. And running costs, being a premium ship, are pretty darn good. Managed to actually put in the bank 246,000. I have got a modifier on there of times 1.2, that's one of my flags I've put on. So yeah, credits are bundling up, and I need to, because I need to start buying a tier 8 soon, and they are damned expensive vessels. So keep your eyes open for that coming on the channel soon. And that is the Imperator Nikolai I, a truly first-class vessel. Anyway, keep your heads down, drink plenty of water, and I will play World of Warships again today, and I'll play it tomorrow, and I'll keep playing it probably for the next couple of years. It is a truly awesome game, and I love it. Take care. Bye bye.